Just below, welcome in. Left a comment on my YouTube. Oh, thank you for watching. I'll definitely look at that. Thank you. One good thing about having very few views and such on YouTube is that you actually can interact a bit in the comment section. So I do actually look at those. You're exultant that I started doing YouTube more. Keep on. Okay. Will do. Exultant. Wow. I appreciate that. That's more hype than I feel like maybe I deserve. So thank you. All right, we've got Lewis versus Wide here. Big immediate walls here for Lewis as well is interesting. Incas for Lewis, Portuguese for Wide. Two really good top tier Arabia civs. Very interesting how early Lewis is walling. I don't think of Lewis as a waller boy per se. This is interesting. Feudal Age coming in for both. It's looking like scouts for Wide. And of course it's going to be some sort of archer mix-in for Lewis. Wide hits Feudal Age. Okay, it's actually archers. Interesting. Are we fast enough to gold? I always overestimate how much gold I need for archers. So maybe this is fine. No, it's not. This is definitely not fine. I mean, it's fine, but it could have been better. It's fine. Lewis is like going crazy, man. This is Lewis, by the way, who hates Arena. Lewis hates Arena more than any player I've ever seen. And I've watched a lot of MBL. I've watched a lot of MBL to say that Lewis hates Arena more than anyone. And then he does this on Arabia. Okay, sure. Wide does have the Giga wood line in the back of his base. It is true. He's got the double wood line in the back, so he can go for an egg wall. Still have his main gold safe and tons of wood safe. But, I mean, Lewis has main and secondary stone and gold safe and a wood line in the back. He only had to wall a quarter of the map to do it. Archers come out here. Now for Wide. And he's got quite a few of them on the field. Castle Age coming in for Wide as well. Res collected is a bit ahead for Wide. I guess we can slow down a little bit here. This is just because of all of the walling Lewis had to do, right? Just had a ton of villagers. Look at this. This is a Hera, by the way. This is a Hera maneuver. Hera hates these palisade gates. But if he has to use them, he says to wall in front and then build the gate behind. So, mini Hera here again. And are we... What's the game plan here for Castle Age for Wide? We don't have a second production building. Quite often Portuguese want to go knight and crossbow. Don't know if we can afford all that though. He went up super fast. This is a very quick Castle Age from Wide. Castle Age clicked for Lewis right about as Wide's going to hit the next age. 4 on gold for 1 range, 6 for double range. Is that all it is? I definitely underestimate it. Probably, right? Because it's 3 on gold for double dock. So, and ships create slower, but don't cost that much different. So, yeah, that makes sense. I always think it's like 6. I think I mix up. I think it's 6 for like 1. That's the issue I always have. I was thinking about this the other day, though. I actually almost never go archers anymore. Archers are arguably my favorite unit to actually make. But between stray dogging on Arabia and then most other maps I play are like, you know, arena and stuff, I almost never have to go archers anymore. Alright, well, this is the downside of the big walls, is that you really can't protect the walls long term. So Wide just marches on through the palisades. It is indeed crossbow knight here for Wide. But Lewis hits the castle age. It's not looking pretty. It's actually looking extremely ugly for Lewis. He's long distance taking this wood line because he doesn't have enough wood to actually make a lumber camp yet. Elite skirm coming in, but that's not going to feel good now that the knights are showing up. Ideally, we'd want to be spamming eagles right now, but obviously that's not doable. You just play Trush on Arena or Stray Dogging lately too, super fun. I agree. People should get more aggro with it. All this feudal age, like into castle age, crisp build order shenanigans are boring. Need more action in our Age of Empires games. Think Wide will go for Siege. Yep. He is indeed. Siege Knight Crossbow is a crazy composition to have to beat. Probably needs to be some monks out here for Lewis. Okay, he's already got the monastery up. There we go. We're predicting the pros perfectly. We've got this down. Mangonel push begins at the front. Siege Workshop and defense for Lewis as well. I do think Lewis has very good siege micro. If he's able to pay attention to it, Lewis has some of the best siege micro in the game. Skirms. This is another Hera thing, fighting mangonels with skirmishers. But the Knight Mass has come on pretty strong here. It's good micro for Lewis. Gonna kill... No. Almost kills that mangonel. Clutch repair there for Wide. Absolutely clutch. Archery range is going down. This is both bad because it opens the walls, but it also means Lewis is going to need another archery range to actually produce skirms from if he wants to keep making them long term. Okay, here we go. We've got mangonels, skirms, monks, knights. A lot of units on the field. This is tough micro for both players. Archery range will go down. Second TC has been added in behind for Wide as well. This is a crazy build for Wide. Absolutely nuts what he's been able to do. Knights, thinking about diving on the mangonel, but how many conversions can you give up and still feel good about that? A little tough. Second TC for Lewis behind this as well. I can't believe nobody's... I'm probably about to jinx someone, but I can't believe nobody's eaten a big mangonel shot yet. There's been so much siege on the field. Skirms. Micring down, look at the splits. Mangonel goes down. Hey, that was an okay shot on the skirms, but you still take that trade every day. Knights coming in. There's 3 monks here, though. 1, 2, 3 conversions. Knights turn around. All the mangonels go down for both sides, but there's a lot of knights in Lewis's eco now. Crossbows also can deal with the converted knights, whereas the skirmishers cannot really deal with the knights, per se. Another monk. Barracks will go down now for Lewis. Only 2 villagers died there for Lewis. That's not that bad. Skirmishers coming out here. Nice dodge. Split. Yep. Okay. Oh! First big shot that Lewis has taken. Definitely cannot give up a knight conversion here. Barracks will go down for Lewis. What's behind this? We're going double archery range. Okay. The good thing for Lewis is he does still have gold back here, right? So even if he gets pushed off the gold at the front, he's not totally dead. And Wyatt actually feels like he's a little unsure what to do here. Nice snipe. We're up to 3 monks now. Wyatt should go light cav. Could. Probably needs either light cav or more crossbows, right? Something to do with the monks. Because if you're giving up 3 or 4 conversions, suddenly you lose all your mangonels. So the knights feel a little tough to use right now. We got to get these monks out of the way. We don't even have sanctity yet on these monks, by the way. Wide gives up on this gold. I guess he knows Lewis has more in the back anyway. Gonna try and push in over here, start pushing on the TC. If he can take the hill, this would be really good for Wide. But if he gives up the hill, it's going to be a little tough. Lewis is coming on over. Wide trying to open up the walls. Knights that can't dive here. 100% cannot dive here. Okay, good. Good dodging by both. Lewis is getting in some chip damage, though. I think Wide has the hill advantage here, right? Okay, repair is coming in for both nicely. Repair villager goes down, though, for Wide. Crazy micro. Oh, repair villager goes down for Lewis. Oh, and he loses it. I guess Wide was still on the hill. We're going for a castle? There's still a lot of mangonels back here, Lewis. There are a lot of mangonels still here. Monks. Again, you can't give up conversions on the knights, or else things go real bad for you, but Lewis eats a big mangonel shot. I don't think this castle is going up. Oh no. 50% up. We have to go for redemption to try and deal with the mangonels. That will be good. If we can surprise Wyatt with redemption, we could still get this castle up. Redemption is most valuable the first time you use it, right? So you want to get a lot of value out of it as soon as it hits. Once your opponent knows you have it, a lot easier to deal with. Here we go. Wide nose. He loses 1. And... oh, that was a great shot. Okay, he loses 2. Castle's going to go up for Lewis. Eco check. Wide's ahead. He has been on 3 TC for a while back here. 86 to 77. He's not that far ahead, though. It's been a fair bit of idle TC time for Wide behind this. Lewis is switching into his own crossbows to go with the monks. Still does not have sanctity. Sanctity is almost necessary when you're trying to go redemption monks against mangonels. Okay, he's getting it in now. But the push has been stalled out. Ballistics on the way for Lewis. He's going to be a little nerd and try and snipe down 4 mangonels with crossbows. Okay. We've got a singular Kameyuk on the field. Very nice. Presiding over the farms here. Beautiful. Lewis wants to go imp. Lewis is trying to go imp. Look at the market. Sells 200 stone, 200 wood, another 100 stone and wood, another 200 wood. He really wants Imperial Age really badly. Monks are coming out here. We can convert the buildings. As Wide's going to get a castle set up a bit more defensively. Imperial Age is on the way for Lewis. Wide's going to be clicking up pretty shortly as well. Mangonel pops out of the Siege Workshop, but Lewis is close enough to take it out with the crossbows. Who wins this late game? It's probably still Portuguese, right? They don't get Paladin, which might be an issue if Lewis can get into fully upgraded Eagles. But I suppose hand cannons do well in that case, so it's probably okay. Lewis is going to yoink that relic. He's also getting one over here. 1, 2... Does Wide already have a relic coming back? No. I'm missing a relic. Does Lewis already have another one coming back? Okay. Imperial Age for Wide, 40 seconds behind. Gunpowder kills? Probably, yeah. It's a little bit tougher with the fabric shields, but I think it still is probably just a gunpowder play, yeah. Wide's going to prep the archery ranges now. I don't think this is for Arbalest. I think this is for hand cannons. Interesting TC for Lewis. 36th minute, no wheelbarrow. True. Very late wheelbarrow for Wide. 42 farms and no wheelbarrow. That's tough, but you know what happens. Lewis is only now getting bow saw, so it all evens out a little bit. All right, Wide's coming back in. Imp hits for Lewis, though. Bracer, chemistry, and block printing all clicked immediately. So the mangonels are starting to run out of use. Block printing monks with redemption kind of just... I don't know what I'm trying to say. Makes these irrelevant. Another castle. Good castle positions for Wide, though. These are Viper castles up on the hill, taking map control. Arbalest on the way. That's the issue, though. If Lewis is already teching into Arbalest, right? And Arbalests do beat hand cannons, if that's what we're going for. So Wide's going to be starting out with some skirmishers. Lewis is not at all teched into Eagles. So it would be a mistake, I think, at this point for Wide to just go heavy gunpowder already. You have to wait until Lewis is actually making the switch. Because hand cannons come out like that. It's super quick to make a switch into hand cannons. It takes forever to switch into Eagles. This is good, though. Arbalest's in the eco. Wide is going to clear this up, but how expensive will Lewis make it for him? He's trying to make a little arena back here. If only Lewis knew... Oh, no, sorry. It is actually blocked here. I was going to say this would be a beautiful place to wedge Arbalests in the back, but that's a no-go. All the cavalry is going down. But Arbalests all get taken care of. Trebuchets on the way out for Lewis, but does not have a lot of military to protect them anymore. He's used up all of this gold in the back of his base. So Lewis is going... I guess he does have this gold at least. But Wide can see these farms. So he should realize there's something out here. He's really... I guess he doesn't know the gold's out there, but... he should realize something is there. Trebuchets begin to work away for Lewis at the first castle. Wide's trebuchets ejected on the wrong side, so they actually have to walk all the way around to the front now, which is a little awkward. Chemistry on the way for Wide, though. Handcart for Lewis. He's getting more Arbalests out. He is going to have to switch into Eagles pretty soon here if Wide is committing into skirmishers. That's kind of the only thing the Incas have to deal with skirms. Okay. I don't think this castle's going to stay up for wide. He does have a lot of stone, though, so he can repair for quite a while, but this is going to be 5 trebuchets here for Lewis at the front now, taking out this castle. Can't dive underneath the castle either. Okay, here it begins. The first infantry armor is on its way. Castle goes down for wide. Ooh, almost lost a trebuchet there. Monk with relic. Oh, he loses a monk. Lewis has 3 relics and can probably take this one. I don't see where the 5th one is still. I might be blind. Eco's a little rough back here. I actually don't know where the last relic is. Push continues, but there's no castle left here for Lewis to hide behind. So his army has to take fights out in the open now. Second armor coming in for the infantry for Lewis. Like I said, it's a slow tech switch. Amayuk's kind of weak for now. Treb War. Lewis is getting good repairs in on his. Loses a trebuchet though, and he is forced to back up. I said these mangonels were useless. They could kill a treb here. They could kill 2 trebs here. Wait a minute. They are going down, but that's value. Castle stays standing for wide, and we're beginning to get some hand cannons out on the field. We're going for a castle here. I don't know about that. Right after we just lost a fight, we're losing villagers now trying to chase down the mangonels, but it's worth it if the castle goes up, I suppose. The issue is the trebs are already in position. And Lewis has no real way of dealing with those trebs, so I think that castle's really bad from Lewis. I think that was not the best decision in the world. Castle goes down basically as soon as it goes up. How's our infantry doing? It's still slow going. Castle goes down. Do the Incas have what they need at this point in the game? Final armor coming in for the infantry. But we're running out of gold. We've got 600 more gold there. We're scared off of this one. And I think that's the only gold left here that Lewis has any hope of ever being able to take. Does have all 5 relics, though, which could be really good if this goes on much longer. Final armor is in for the infantry. Forging on the way, but you can see how long it takes, right? This infantry switch has been coming in for like 10 minutes already. And we're only halfway there. This is bad for Lewis if he loses this castle. His base is wide open. Really needs to stop this push right now. Wide is going to put down the castle exactly where it once stood, or he's thinking about it at least. Conscription on the way in. Squires. But the hand cannons are already prepped behind. I don't think this is going to feel too good for wide. He does lose a treb there, which is good for Lewis. Nice hits as well. Sniper trebuchets. Jeez. That was like 4 hits in a row. Arbalests are going to come out here. They don't even have all their armor, though. Thumbring is also not in. So it's really not a good fight against the skirms. But it will force the trebuchets to back up now. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. We are out of gold. We are fully out of gold here, except for our relics. Kamayuk raid. Big. Nice. Okay. Getting another armor in. Lewis is losing villagers. I think these vills were on the gold. I don't even know if Lewis realized the castle was there, but he has a lot of trebs back. 5 more trebs for Lewis. He does not trickle treb. Will this castle fall for a second time? It's looking like it might. There's just nothing here to deal with the skirms. Wide is just diving in with skirmishers and finding value over and over again. Lewis still lagging behind on upgrades for his skirmishers as well. Castle goes down. Okay. Well, we're going to push back into this position again. Can Lewis take out this castle this time? These mangonels are still here, being a bit of an issue. Lewis really wants to get out here onto this gold. Oh! Okay. Arbalests eat a shot, but it's fine. Castle begins to go down again. Wide's going to have to get back into position with his repair villagers. He's also got his trebs set back up for the war, but there's so many trebs here for Lewis. I think this castle goes down. And yeah, it definitely goes down. We're up to 6 trebs now. Final armor comes in for Lewis. Being able to get back on this gold is honestly the biggest deal. True. Why has Wide not gotten any bombard cannons on the field? That feels bad, right? Lewis takes out the castle, now backs up. He already got chemistry for the hand cannons. Why not just mix in some bombard cannon? There's no siege workshops on the field. Weird, right? That's such a big difference between these two civs late in the game. Feels like Wide not taking full advantage of his civ advantage here. He queued up one. Yeah, he probably queued one up in the siege workshop that was here, and then it went down. Because he definitely, unless I'm missing it, I don't see any siege workshops on the field anymore for Wide. That's even weirder, like he thought about it. Is it not worth making another 1 or 2 siege workshops here? Here we go. Eagle Warrior, Iron Casting, now Blast Furnace coming in. We've got the Eagle Switch coming in hard. Still no... Andean Sling. Does that help? What does that do exactly? I always forget. I know it helps the slingers. Does it do anything else? It must. I'm pretty sure it has a secondary effect. I don't remember what it is, though. But I do feel like it does help something, or else that's a terrible play for Lewis. If it only helps the slingers, it's terrible. I'm pretty sure it does something for the skirms, though. It gets rid of their minimum range or something stupid. But... yeah, I think that it removes the minimum range. I guess that's helpful, maybe. For your skirms? I don't know. It does extra for the slingers. It gives them another attack or something, but it does not do that. I don't think it does that for... no, it doesn't do that for skirms, so I don't know. Hopefully Lewis didn't think that was fabric shields. Cavalier for Wide. Lots of skirms coming out here for Lewis. Castle goes back up for Wide, but it might go back down. Lewis is losing his trebs, though. Infantry armor for Wide. Are we thinking about champion? We're being scared off this gold. I think Lewis has won. I think Lewis might win. He was on the back foot this whole game, but I guess there is still some gold back here for Wide. But 5 relics. Portuguese can always go Feitoria, I suppose, but look at this. The sneaky barracks, not quite so sneaky. Looks like Wide has sussed that out. But there might be enough eagles here to take out the hand cannons. Elite Eagle Warrior is already in, so we're only missing fabric shields on these guys. It was not enough eagles, it turns out. But Wide's base kind of getting gutted down the middle by these arbalests. Castle is still up. Cavalier charge in. There's only skirmishers here. There are a lot of skirmishers, though. 35 skirmishers is no joke. But the Cavalier will be able to kill the trebuchets. They kill some villagers. And Castle will stay standing for wide for the time being. Arbalests work their way all the way back to support the barracks. Pacing skirmishers are going to start going down to whatever eagles Lewis is able to queue up out of these things. Couple hand cannons behind putting in good work, though. Another gold back here for wide. Gets annihilated. Wide has so much gold available to him. There's so many gold piles for wide. It's good, because Lewis has, again, all the relics. But good clear up back here. Now the skirmishers are rolling in. Feels like the Cavalier can find a pretty easy clear up on these guys, though. Pikemen on the way for Lewis. Villagers going down on this gold again. Gold check for Lewis. Got 600 more gold to take. And that's it. Then he has to rely fully on the relics. Wide's doing a great job of keeping his villager numbers up. A lot of players would be under 100 villagers right now because he's lost a lot in the last minute and a half. He's lost a lot of villagers, so it's really good that he's keeping production going. He continues to lose them on both sides, though. Lewis's APM maybe outclassing Wide's a little bit here right now. But everywhere the Cavaliers show up, it's bad for Lewis. Still no Halb, which is maybe needed. Trebuchets are pushing in here. I think Lewis finally loses this castle. This is the first castle Lewis made in the game. And it is indeed going to go down. But there's still a lot of army in the back here. I feel like Lewis definitely thought Andean Sling was fabric shields, right? It feels like that was a mistake that he made. Because I don't think Andean Sling gives you that much value here, but fabric shields definitely would. Maybe not anymore, though. No more gold. Okay, there goes that super loud vehicle that just screaming down the road again. Sounds like it's dragging something behind it, but okay. Castle goes down for Lewis. No more gold except for the relics. Gold comes in pretty quick from 5 relics, but it's not enough to spam eagles. You actually don't hear it. Wow, okay. I thought for sure that one would show on the mic. That was super loud. That was so loud. That's good. I've got my mic settings figured out nicely then. Cavalry starting to raid into Lewis's eco. Only light cav. Of course, no hussar for the Portuguese, but we're losing barracks at the front. Lewis queues up a couple more eagles from the back here, just trying to find raiding value. 1,500 gold in the bank for Wide. The win condition here for Lewis at this point is that Wide runs out of gold and then can't make the switch into Fetorias. But that's a long way away still for Wide. He still has almost 600 gold left to take. Oh, more than that, actually. Got like 1,000 gold left to take, plus 2,000 still in the bank. Trebs are rolling in. It's been a really good fight here for Lewis, but the res is not looking super hot. Okay, it's just pikemen too. They're doing okay, though. They're doing alright. Full pike here. Look at this. 50 pikemen are in queue right now. It'd be really nice if we could afford Halb. Making 50 pikemen and not being able to afford Halb kind of sucks. But I guess they're doing their work still. Treb goes down. Wide is having to back up. He has taken out 2 TCs. The raids have done a lot of work against Lewis. But we're getting to the point where, like, Meso civs without gold is just kind of rough, right? They don't have a raiding unit. There's Halb, finally, is able to be afforded. Makes a huge difference. I can't overstate how much of a difference it makes in these fights versus the Cavalier. Some infantry raiding around the back is good, though. We've raided this gold again. So Wide is not taking gold right now. He's gone through 1,000 gold already. So he's down to only 900. This is a crazy game. This is a crazy game. Halb is in. Cavalier cannot take this fight anymore. When do you start making Fatorias? Organ guns were the answer. Organ guns do quite well against Meso civs. It's got to be said. You can outspam them at certain points with eagles, but it'd be nice now to have organs on the field. It would. They do really well against skirmishers and halbs, so it would be nice to have some of those. Halbs continue to raid back here. Not clearing up these barracks is so tough. These barracks have just been pouring units straight into Wide's eco for the past like 30 minutes. He teched into the wrong thing? Maybe. Alb skirm versus like light cav skirm. It doesn't feel good, right? We're out of gold. We're down to 500 gold. We simply cannot take what's here because we're right next to all of Lewis's production buildings. Big mop up here on the cavalry. I think that's the only gold left on the map, is back in that left-hand corner. And realistically, we can't go Fatoria, right? Fatorias are 350 gold and stone. Like, that's so expensive to even get one Fatoria up at this point. I think I'm back to saying Lewis is going to win. It was a little sketchy. There was a big pushback in between the 2 times I've said Lewis looks like he's winning. But we're taking fights against Halb with our cav. That feels so bad. We've got more trebs out on the field. I think the 5 relics are just too strong at this point in the game. Feels like 3-2 in Lewis's favor. Maybe even like 4-1. Wide still has some shot. But 5-0 is so bad. We're out of gold. Wide sells 1,000 wood for 161 gold. Oof. Uses the last of his stone to repair the castle. Castle's gonna go down, and I think it's GG. Incas a better Incas a better post-gold civ than Portuguese confirmed. What fight from Lewis, man. I don't see him go super late like this often, but this has been really good. The ability to be raiding constantly on both sides, GG is called, was so good for Lewis here. And honestly, just the awareness to get the relics when he did, right? Wide, I guess, maybe overconfident in his ability to end the game before it mattered. Did not put any focus on the relics. And Lewis wins. Crazy. Multiple times in that game, I flip-flopped between thinking who was going to win. Like, when Lewis was doing that first big push in Imp, I thought he was looking really good, but the push back was crazy from Wide. Wide got all the way here, took out a castle and 2 town centers. But Lewis patient enough with the Halb switch. And again, I can't say enough that it really would have been nice if Wide could have cleared up these barracks, because, man, I don't know how many kills Lewis found on this gold, but it was a lot. 235 to 91 eco KD at the end of that game. Lewis actually had a much worse KD, but the eco KD was crazy for him. And a cool 5,000 gold for Lewis. I actually want to look. I think Wide probably took more gold, right? Even with the relics. Is that true? No, it's not. Definitely is not. Wow. Lewis was just hemorrhaging through gold, I guess. It never felt like Lewis had enough gold, but it was just always being put into units and stuff.